So I want to open this up first, this video, on what I'm going to talk about. Growing in dish pans, zucchini, pollinating, and I'll even do a recap real fast on this. Well, 2.5 weeks ago, you saw me stuff this dish pan with all kinds of matter, and I did the whole video. You really need to go back and see that video, and you'll know exactly what I did. And isn't it amazing how everybody teaches us that we can't grow in food matter? Anyways, we're not talking about that today. So that was to get this little seedling that I had purchased outside and start to grow. So you see me here putting it up, setting it up. There's the little plant tag on there, and it didn't look that happy. It was in the container too long, but I figured I have hope. You know why? Because my soil's alive. Not only is it just soil there, or I should say compost, but you saw all the plant matter. Well, let me show you what is going on this morning, which is exactly 2.5 weeks later. I was going to say something, but the rooster did first. Hi everybody, it's Robbie from Southern California, and this is the dish pan. Look at this. You know how I love growing in those dish pans from Sterlite. They're like 4.5 gallons, and this is going to be the first zucchini on the property on my deck that I'm setting up. Look how fast it grew. So let's go over what happened. Looky, looky. You saw me fill it and how I set it up. There's a female flower that's going to open. That one hasn't opened yet. There's a whole bunch down there. But here's one that just opens. Now, if you look, oh, let me get you in here. See that? It's swollen. That's a little fruit. That's exactly what it looks like. Now, if you look over on this one, whoa, that one doesn't need the flower anyways anymore. We'll just set it aside. Here's a flower that's going to open. Notice this is just a stem and a flower. Same thing here. It's a stem with a flower. Back there, same thing, stem and flower. Here's another one. Just a straight stem and flower. But if you look here, let's see if we can lift it. See, the stem is swollen. It actually looks like a tiny zucchini. That's a female fruit, female flower, and we need to get that pollinated. Same thing here. You can spot them when they're tiny. In fact, I can tell you that this one's a female as well as this one right next to it, if you can see down there, because I can see it's slightly swollen, and so is that one. Now, here's the issue. Again, our weather is kind of cloudy and damp, and I don't see a bee in sight. So I've got, which is fantastic, 1, 2, 3 male flowers. Now, it's a little damp. Oh, no. See that? There is the pollen right there. Now, that's not to say a bee won't come later, but I'm not taking any chances. Now, we're going to take that pollen, and we're going to put it all over there. Because let me tell you something. I want my first zucchini. I don't care where it comes from, and this is the first one. We're going to grab some more pollen in there. You can see all that pollen. Isn't that beautiful? Don't need much, but we'll do what the bee does. Gets around there, moves everything around. And we're going to get right in there. It's pretty sturdy, the flower, so you can't really knock it off. The reason those fell off that I just threw down there is because they're dried up. They're done. Let's see if there's a third one here. Now, if you notice, I can't really show you from here. This is like holding everything. I'm going to get in there and I'm going to do from all three. You don't have to, but you know, it's kind of an insurance. We do this with dragon fruit. We take pollen from a bunch of different flowers and mix it up and put it on the fruit. Now I've got all three, and that flower should be good to go. Now, if I wanted to, and I don't have to worry about it because there's nothing open here, and I wanted to keep the seeds from that, I would cover it up and do the hand pollinating myself, knowing it came from a true zucchini. Because if I had a pumpkin sitting there, and the pumpkin had a flower, and my zucchini had a flower, they can cross-pollinate. If I had a yellow zucchini, crookneck, again, it would cross-pollinate. What you would end up with could be something fantastic, and it could be something you don't like. But this I know is zucchini. It's the first one on the deck. The only other one is this one that came up in my compost tote here. And it's just getting flowers down there. So it's going to be a while till that one has anything. Same thing here. This is the seedling that I just put in there and grew. Nothing. The rest are all tomatoes. Nothing else here flowering except for some marigolds. So that is exactly how you hand pollinate. And it looks different. If you look, it has a different look. This has got like, look at this, more of a point, because it doesn't need all the petals like in here, the inside, to collect all the pollen. But I'm going to get it all over and inside. We're good to go. I think that's good. It's just a paintbrush. It's a soft one. See how it looks a little different? The female flower on the inside looks different, but you don't even have to go by that. I don't have to. It looks the same at the base, but the top of it is a little different. The tippy top there. See how that looks? Isn't that beautiful? Now, yes, if you had a bunch of male flowers and no female flowers, you can eat the flowers. People bread them and fry them. You can do whatever you want. You can chop it up and put it in a salad for looks. But I'm just going to leave nature alone. I'm going to let the bees come in and do their thing, because hopefully it will dry up a little bit, not be so damp, and the bees will come in, and then the bees will do their thing. Back here, this is what's helping the plant grow. I have 2 flower pots that are just sitting there. And when I water those flower pots. It retains water underneath. This is the celery, which can have a big, let me move this over, a big, massive root system. So I just want to make sure that it's not going to set root completely in there. This is just one walking onion. Got a lot of marigolds coming up on the bottom. I'm going to leave them. So that's how you go ahead and hand pollinate. I wrapped this with tulle to protect it when it was a tiny seedling, like that one. That was to keep any critters from crawling up on it. Nothing bothered it. And you know what? I thought it gives the plant a little support, so I left it around there. Helps with when it's hot. Shades the base of the plant a little bit. Wind protection, if it got too cold and the wind was coming up the canyon, it broke the wind up, and there's no reason for it. You don't have to do it. But being that it was still early spring and too early for squash, I left it, and I think all in all it did pretty good. So tell me what you think. Let me know if you've got any squash or zucchini growing, or if you've already been eating it. Zoe wants to know as she roams around. Well, she's doing her thing. So just leave your comments on that. But aren't they beautiful? Isn't that gorgeous? I'm so excited. I'm going to have my first zucchini on the property for this spring. And if all goes well, that is going to make somebody happy for dinner. Me. No, I use it for all kinds of things. I added to ground beef. So I take a pound of ground beef. I end up with 2 pounds, and half of it is vegetables from the garden, which is usually a zucchini, and you don't know the difference. Then I just slice it up, put it in a frying pan with a little butter. Really happy with that. I can even eat it raw, put it in a salad. I leave until they get giant, or I pick them when they're small. This, I don't know. We'll see how I feel when the time comes. So back to have a cup of coffee. It's early. I came out here to see how things look, and peaceful, except for the rooster, letting everybody know it's morning. Look at all the lettuce growing, and celery, and marigolds, and garlic chives. These garlics are about ready. I could pull them out later and see what's in there. I have too many in the pot. If I only had a couple in there, the garlic would get big, but I use the greens too. And then my tomatoes are coming up. Doing really good. These are the yellow ones. Here it is. There was one in a container. I split it in half. It looked really bad. And they are doing beautiful. They're getting fed by this because this has got all the compost in it. When I water it, it runs off the pan into either one of those pots. And soon, maybe in about a month, I should start having some tomatoes. But this should grow really quick. And then I'll have one there too. So I'll probably get that one off when it's a good 6 inches, because I want all the new ones coming in to grow really quick too. The faster I get it off, the faster I'll have more. Does that make sense? With that, have a wonderful day. I know my voice sounds dry. I just got up and I ran out here to see how it was doing. And don't forget to eat what you grow. Bye-bye. Oh, I'm so excited.